on is, I don't know. I don't know if this is on. I clicked the button on YouTube, and that it does that thing where it says, you know, you click go live, and then like the circle starts spinning, and you're like, did I go live? Am I live? Can people hear me? I don't know. I don't know if you can hear this. Okay, so this is the first episodic installation of the live iteration, the live incarnation, the live installation, if you will, of Above It All. I've been wanting to go from doing YouTube videos to just doing a live stream that incorporates all of the stuff and then edit out the clip stuff from that, to kind of do both things at once. So yes, this is the live version. Yeah. And I've got a couple of news stories here, and we're just gonna go through them like I would normally. As far as chat interaction goes, I will read chat when I can, when I do, that kind of stuff. But the chat will not be the sole focus of this broadcast. I will try to read the chat in chunks in between certain segments. So, the first person here is Dragon Scale Plays. Hello? Thank you for watching. But, to anyone watching the archive of this, again, I don't know what I'm going to do here. I took a few days off of doing Above It All videos, and I was going to, with that time, figure out a new format that works really well. And what I decided to do instead was smoke marijuana and play Minecraft for 72 hours straight. So I did no prep work. I did nothing whatsoever. And so I don't know what I'm doing. And so like we're just going to go from there. But yeah, so the first story that I want to talk about here is this Project Veritas thing. And I'm going to bring this up here. So Project Veritas has come back. They have brought it back, if you will. And so they are back. And this is the thing. It's like this new controversy from James O'Keefe here, who is alleging that Ilhan Omar, right? Like the evil mastermind, Ilhan Omar, is in fact stealing the election and has stolen the election or something. I'm not sure. And the thing about this that's interesting is you have Donald Trump tweeting about this, tweeting about the ballots here, and then if you go down, he's retweeting almost like every single article about this. Now, they all point back to one source, right? This is the source. So again, this is being widely reported in news, but there is no actual source other than James O'Keefe. Now, I could be wrong. Anything is possible, right? I could be wrong 1,000%, right? The chances of me being incorrect are higher than they are of me being absolutely certain in everything. Now, that is just the general, way that everyone should live their lives. But I am going to watch this video because now I know the full video is longer. I do know that, but I'm going to watch this because honestly, I'm not going to sit here for fucking 30 minutes here talking about James O'Keefe. I'm sorry, I'm just not. But let's watch.
Liban Mohammed, aka King Liban 1, boasts about the hundreds of absentee ballots in his car.
Numbers don't lie. Wajida gaarigaygu waa buuxaa. Waxaas waa absent ballot salka yaala. Soo ma jeedin. Fiiri, waxaas oo dhan soo ma jeedin. Waa buuxaa gaarigaygu. Waa buuxa yaala. Waxaas kullu waa Jamal Usman way. Fiiri. 300 clear maanta soo dhacday oo Jamal Usman. Yeah.
There was video. You can see the video. There was a video out and about that he has the ballots in his car.
Right.
And talking about the only way you can win is with money. I was looking at them and they were not filled. They were blank.
Who is the one filling out the absentee ballots? People who work with like Ilhan Omar. Where do they pay the money? The minute we sign the thing, the election, that's what you get paid.
Money is everything. Money is the key in this world. If you ain't got money, you should not be here, period.
Marka odayaasha waa loo codsadaa
At the end of this street,
Yes.
there's 3 towers called phone towers.
Okay.
And it's all seniors, and they took every ballot.
Every ballot. They just take
Every
them from
single
them.
ballot. They knock on the door and say, your ballots, come give it to me, give it to me.
They don't even pay them for it. They just take it.
No. And the ones that didn't vote on ballots, the young people and the women and stuff, they were paying cash. They were getting bags of money the last 1 week here to drive people. So there's a vested interest, but we are victims of the system. They don't give a shit about any Somali.
2 in the morning, still hustling.
Who is the one filling out the absentee ballots? People who work with, like Ilhan, Omar, and other candidates who work for them. They came to us to our apartments. They tell us that this year you're going to vote for it. You don't go nowhere, you stay home, we will tell you fill out for your absentee ballot. When it comes, we'll come and get it. You just don't go nowhere, you stay here. They fill it for us.
Okay, so again, there's a much longer video, and I'm so sorry for laughing. I know that there's going to be a particular contingent of people that will stumble themselves upon this videographic experience, and they will scream, and they will cry, and they will whine. Everybody, they will cry like little babies because I was laughing at this as if it were a comedy routine. And I will be honest, this is a comedy routine. That's what this is. But you have the President of the United States retweeting. By the way, fake news was his reaction to the Trump tax thing, and I'll talk about more of that later. But he's been tweeting out everything about this, like every news outlet, right, that is going to taint themselves touching this bogus story. Donald Trump, the president of these United States, how do you think Ian Miles Chong is fucking feeling right now? You think his dick is rock hard? It's like, oh, the president retweeted me. Oh my God, I did it. I hit it big, right? But again, these people are freak shows. That's what they are. They are freak shows, okay? Now, to get into the subject matter of this Project Veritas thing, right? All they're doing is taking clips of people, right? Particularly brown-skinned people speaking languages that aren't English, and then throwing them across the MAGA waves. That's what this is. This is how I stumbled upon it. Is like I'm just looking at the news, I'm seeing what's trending, and all of a sudden you have a bunch of wine moms in their 50s talking about how the Muslims are going to kill us all and steal the election, and it's like, what the fuck? But again, there is no substance, right? These people can just be ballot workers, right? Collecting and mailing ballots on others' behalfs, right? And some people who do that, like some people that work with the census, some people that work on elections, are only doing it for money. And so they found some dudes like Instagram or TikTok, and they're like, okay, this guy's just in it for money. Isn't that just amazing? Isn't that just wonderful? They're just in it for money. Okay, let's tie them to Ilhan Omar, because why not? And then all of a sudden we've got a story. The President of the United States is crying about it on Twitter all morning. It's baffling to me. It's bizarre. And again, you have Project Veritas, right? Which is run by James O'Keefe, who has been doing these really bizarre, Project Veritas, they launched this video, I think, sometime earlier this year or maybe late last year. Where it was they infiltrated the Bernie campaign and saw that evil commie scum was gonna burn down the whole universe if Bernie lost. Now, it just so happened that certain things happened, and hey, maybe that wasn't necessarily wrong to begin with. But this whole idea of election fraud, this is the big thing. This is the big thing, is that this is what Trump and his base, this is what they're doing. Is they are gearing up to steal this election 2000 style, and they will utilize any possible thing that they can for that goal. And it doesn't matter if there's no laws being violated. It doesn't matter if people are just transferring ballots from one place to another and are getting paid to do so. There's no proof that they're filling out all the ballots. There's no proof of that in these videos, right? It's just people that take ballots from certain areas and then drop them off at the election office and so forth. That's a job. They're picking themselves up by their bootstraps to do that. But all of a sudden, that's no good. And, oh, they're Ilhan Omar, and, oh, they're not speaking English, and they're scary, and they're evil, and they're coming to steal our election. Because that's all that QAnon people do, is they go on Facebook, right? They scroll, okay, what's going on Facebook? Oh my god, Ilhan Omar! Like, and that's it. They don't look into it. They're not going to read the details. They're not going to look in past the headline. Maybe they'll watch 20 seconds of a video. And that's why you've got the editing that this motherfucker has on his video, by the way. Like, if you look at this, like, he's got this, like, horror movie trailer edited, right? Like, what is this? Like, seriously, it's bizarre. It's strange. It's super weird. It's something that not a normal, rational actor would accomplish, right? But they're doing it anyway, because, again, the boomers just see people that aren't white speaking languages that aren't English, and they freak the fuck out. And so if you just say the headline is Ilhan Omar stealing the election with mail-in ballots, they're not going to look into anything. They're going to freak the fuck out, and they'll share it on Facebook. And that's how QAnon spreads. That's how it spreads. And it's scary. Dude, it is scary as hell, I have to say. But I don't know. I think it's just funny. It's scary and it's funny, and I try to have a healthy balance. I don't know what to say. Yeah. So, there you go. What's up in the chat room? Hello, Damon. Hello, Cloud. You just got here? Well, that was the first segment. So, hello, I am Sudan. Hello, Owen Johnzon. Starting at the beginning, no spoilers. Well, you gotta watch on 2x speed so you can catch up. The people I know who like QAnon study the stuff for hours and hours. I don't think that that's true. I know a lot of people. I have family members that tell me QAnon conspiracy theories, and they don't study anything. Well, now they'll say that they study things. That's something that they say. Like, oh yeah, I did the research. I've been researching. But to them, researching is nothing more than just, oh, I saw it on Facebook on my feed 7 different posts. And then I clicked on the post and read, like, the follow-up. That's all that is. That's all that is. It looks like my internet connection is failing. That's a shame. Hello, is this thing back on? Okay. I need to find a way to get some more stable internet. I'm so sorry. But goddamn, it's yeah, QAnon does not research. What I was saying is, like, they'll claim that they do the research, and really what that means is they saw it on Facebook 5 or 6 different times, and they clicked on the post once. Like, to them, that's what research is. So I would definitely be skeptical of people that are telling you to do the research. I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, facts, logic, research, those are all words that have been destroyed by, like, the IDW and adjacent figures. Do I know who Mama Max is? No, I do not. What's up with the media blackout on Joe? Joe Jorgensen? I don't think there is a media blackout. I just don't think people care about her. I think that's... I don't think there's a media blackout. People just don't give a fuck. Like, she's boring. She has no policies. The Libertarian Party is garbage. I don't even know, like, if there's a blackout on that. What's your procedure of evidence for a claim of truth? If it fits in to the reality that we live in, then it's probably truthful. So, and that's one of the problems with QAnon is they have their own, like, alternative reality where, like, Antifa is setting wildfires and they're burning down every house, not building, not corporate store, but Antifa's burning down every house in America. And so, oh, of course, Antifa's setting all the wildfires. That's how this stuff spreads, is because it builds an alternate reality that they live in, and then of course, Antifa's burning down my grandma's cousin's best friend's neighbor's maid's cousin's house. Antifa burned it down, so therefore the wildfires are fake news, climate change is fake news, it must be Antifa. That's how that stuff spreads. You can read countless right-wing articles that all post the same stuff. Yeah, when you're seeing a source and it is only posted in the post-millennial New York Post, like Daily Caller, chances are, and you can't find it anywhere else, right? That's where your thinking brain should be activated. Hello, the last person in chat. I typed in Proud Boys Alive, and this came up. What we up to? Well, I do have stories here about the Proud Boys over the last few days. And I wish I had more info. This is one of those things that it's like I'm only going off of like a little bit here. But I don't think anything happened at this Proud Boy event. But yeah, I'm just gonna go for this one. The last person in chat, I'll just go for it. Welcome, by the way. All right, so you had the Proud Boys on September 26th, I believe, a couple days ago, where they were doing this big rally thing in Portland. And needless to say, I will be honest, there were these leaked chat messages of a lot of people who were organizing this event, and they were talking about killing people, and that was a little freaky. So from what I understood, from what I understand, and again, I could be wrong here, there's always the chance that I don't have all the information. There's always the chance that I'm missing certain things or something happened that I'm unaware of. That's always possible. I do not have any direct contacts on the ground here. I mean, I do have contacts, but I don't have anyone that like I talk to on a daily basis that could scoop me, you know. So it's like I don't really know what's going on. I'm just going off of things that I'm seeing on media and on the news. And so they had this Proud Boys rally in, I think it was Delta Park in Portland. And I'm going to drink some coffee here. And I just want to say that I like Ford Fisher's Twitter account. He goes to a lot of these protests and like gives very good documentation. Gives like very good captioning, descriptions, and photos of things that's going on. So I highly recommend to watch out for this guy and follow him. If this is something that you like. But yeah, so I just want to preface this with saying that I have been to Proud Boys stuff. I remember the most obnoxious one I went to was the hashtag Demand Free Speech rally in Washington, D.C. last year. That was last 4th of July weekend before the corona, the Chinese flu, before it ravaged everything. But I remember going there, and their whole shindig, their whole idea, what they were doing, was, oh, we are going to do like an America rally. So like I go there, and there's people dressed up as like Ben Franklin. There's people that are dressed up as like Union generals, and like they're just totally appropriating the everything about American history. And I remember when one of the first things that they did at Demand Free Speech rally was they started singing like the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthems, and you look in the crowd, and it's just a bunch of like fucking like 50-year-olds, right? Like maybe former veterans, I don't know, but just like 50-year-old white dudes and their wives. Just like, and this is in Washington, D.C. that I went to. And then, like, if you go to these areas that are, like, in Portland or other, like, more suburban locations and stuff, you see a lot more of a diverse amount of cringe. But I lived in Washington, D.C. at the time. So, like, you have to keep in mind these are probably people that are very, very wealthy or that are, like, you know, very entrenched in the political class and not just, like, everyday working class people. But they were, like, they had their hands on their hearts and they were crying, singing the national anthem. Gavin McInnes singing with me in karaoke. It's so beautiful. Like, seriously. Like, I recorded some of that footage. Go back and watch it. And so, like, this is one of those situations where it seems that similar things happened here. And I just wanted to say this caption here is really funny. A much smaller turnout than expected yesterday at Delta Park. City and state officials were bracing for clashing protests, but everybody largely kept to themselves during these afternoon rallies, which is amazing. By the way, because oftentimes Proud Boys, Patriot Prayer, and all these buggers, is they will do these rallies and then afterward is when they start perusing the streets to violently assault people, right? So, like, this is something you gotta be very careful of, but it seems nothing happened. But if you want to analyze this is the thing that I've really been... This is really, like, this genuinely is just horrifying, right? This stuff is just actually fucking scary. Is they have taken Kyle Rittenhouse and turned Kyle Rittenhouse into a mythologized, like war hero. In the same way that you see people talk about Martin Luther King Jr. or about Abraham Lincoln or like any other of these historical figures, right? How like there's like the truth of what they think and what they thought, and then there's like the liberalized, mythologized version where like, oh yeah, Abraham Lincoln was super awesome and loved black people and he was so great. Secretly, he's pretty much a racist, and one of the only reasons he was anti-slavery was because he didn't want the Union to fall apart. He didn't really care about anyone else. And then, like, you look at, like, Martin Luther King Jr., whose history is super radical, very communistic, and then you have the liberals say, oh no, he fixed racism with nonviolence, and you shouldn't do anything. If you ever even think about interrupting the system of capital, then everything will fall apart, and you will be, like, the eternal disgusting evil on society, right? And so like the right wing is very good at mythologizing history, right? That's where this whole thing, how you have, oh yeah, we're the Patriots, 1776, right? 3%. We're the Oath Keepers, everyone. We're saving America. We're patriots. While they march with cops and with the military and worship their country. That makes them patriots? 1776 style? What? But again, if you looked at 1776, if you know the actual history of the American Revolution, there were the sides that were with the cops, the British soldiers, the occupiers, right? Those were called loyalists. And then you had the people that burned down, or rather tore down, statues of King George, melted them down into bullets, and then used those bullets to shoot and kill the police with. And, right, so like, the idea that they think there's some magical through line from like, oh yes, tearing down statues of the king and shooting police, to defending the police and advocating to kill protesters. And like, oh, anyone who does kill protesters is a hero? It's a weird mythology, but somehow they're able to pull it off. And so again, you see all these shirts here, right? Kyle Rittenhouse did nothing wrong. Well, okay. The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of commies. Like, these are just people walking around. Right? Like, this is just like, this is how, like, yeah, we're just walking around, we're absorbing the atmosphere. This is like, yeah, we're real people. Our shirts are advocating to kill, like, the commies, I guess. But, like, what's the openly communist percentage of America? Like, maybe 10% at best are openly communist, right? Like, and that's, like, at best. I'm thinking maybe 5% of Americans would say they're openly communists, right? So this whole idea of communists invading America, taking in from the Red Scare shit, it's just bizarre. It's strange to me. But again, let's just, like, it's just weird. Like, that's weird. Like, this is like cult shit. This is like, I feel like I'm watching Paranormal Activity fucking 7, because there's so many of these fucking movies, right? And like at the end, you open up the door, and instead of like a coven of old witches, it's like a bunch of these people like, fuck Antifa. Like, what? What does that mean? Oh, I don't know. But again, like this is just how they behave. And this is like another thing. And again, I really wanted to talk about this because of the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. Right? Is because they've mythologized people in real time now. And this is something that's just really bizarre. Like, whenever there's mass shooters, right? There's always like a sect of these groups that are like, do we condemn the mass shooter or do we embrace the mass shooter? Right? So when you look at groups like Patriot Front, that like their entire like group history is based around the idea that they embrace mass shooters, right? Like them organizing with groups like the Proud Boys, and then you have another mass shooter, Kyle Rittenhouse, and I know there's going to be people that get triggered. Oh, Kyle Rittenhouse is just a kid, he defended him, blah, 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 right? There is nuance to that case. But because there's nuance, does that mean that Kyle Rittenhouse is shooting the shot heard round the world and he's going to start the second American Revolution, except they're revolting against not the government because they're on the side of the government. They're revolting against a few protesters in a couple different cities. Like, what are they revolting from? I don't know, but that's not important right now because he's an American hero and he did nothing wrong. So again, there's nuance in the case, right? Like, you can actually make a conversation for self-defense. I disagree with it. But at least it's in the realm of like, okay, I can see why you think that. Here's why you're wrong. Whereas this whole idea that Kyle Rittenhouse is like an American hero who's like being printed on T-shirts, and now you see mainstream public politicians say that Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero and he did nothing wrong. Having a gun under the legal age, nothing wrong. Organizing with militias without training or practice, nothing wrong. Organizing with police, taking police orders to kettle protest, nothing wrong. Shooting people, nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong? What? He did nothing wrong. But that's their mythology. That's how they mythologize him. Is, oh, he's defending himself against tyranny, except the tyranny is not the police, right? The tyranny is a couple people that are angry because their friends and family keep getting killed. The tyranny is not a king oppressing people with taxes. That's not tyranny. It's a couple of peasants who are actually kind of pissed off because their life isn't going so well. That's the tyranny. But again, they don't, like, their market here is not based on whether or not, like, it's factual and logical. Their market is like, oh, someone on Facebook, a fucking 60-year-old woman on Facebook who's like, I like America. What's going on? Kyle Rittenhouse, America? Well, it must be true. I saw it on Facebook. Like, that's their fucking, that's what their strategy is. And it's working with boomers. Like, again, I know boomers in my family that, like, are just, like, having normal conversation with me, and then they hear, oh, did you hear this thing that Soros did? And I'm, like, asking them, it's like, what? Soros? What? This thing that Soros did? What is Soros? What is he doing? But apparently Soros, right, having like $6 billion or whatever, he's apparently the evil mastermind behind the entire world and secretly funding all of Antifa. Yet Elon Musk, who has like, what, $70 billion, openly saying, yeah, the coup in Bolivia, that's awesome. That's fine. There's nothing wrong there. Someone with considerably more wealth talking about toppling world governments, that's cool. But George Soros, like, funding Act Blue or something? And then Black Lives Matter has, like, an organization that funds Democratic down-ballot races through Act Blue, and therefore Soros is funding Antifa, and then the U-Haul, and then Kyle, like, they're literally living in an alternate world. And again, I just wanted to show that this is scary shit. This is really, really scary stuff. And again, the whole idea of Kyle Rittenhouse being an American hero based in mythology and them being able to mythologize people like this in real time now because they live in this alternate world. And that's what this has been building up to. This is why you have things like the Christchurch massacre in 2019, is because these people are living and they're trying to create an alternate version of history. And because they've been trying to create this alternate version of history for so many years, they're able now, because they've got precedent, they've got like actual history in their own world, they're able to now bring people into their mythology in real time and have mainstream Republican politicians promote them. And it's bizarre. It's weird. And so again, thankfully things did not seem to get out of control. And I was under the impression that they might be. I mean, whenever you have Proud Boys and anti-fascists in a similar situation, things could get bad. But fortunately, things did not get that bad. But what we have to talk about here is, again, the idea that these people are fighting for America, right? And like they're not. Kyle's life matters. Like, if you want to do that with this dude, sure, it kind of makes sense, I guess, right? Because he's dead. But Kyle's life matters? What? Like, these people are just freak shows. Like, they're freaks. And, like, I'm not really going to listen to any of their interviews, right? They're just freaks. But you have to you have to understand that these people are out there. And, like, your grandma, right? Your mother might be on Facebook a little too much, and they give them a 2 weeks worth of not monitoring their fucking internet habits, and they'll turn into this. Because I've seen it happen with people in my family. Is like they're relatively normal and stable people 6 months later because they have a Facebook account and they don't hate Trump, so they're like somewhat Trump sympathetic. 6 months later, Soros is funding Antifa wildfires. Antifa are the real tyranny. Antifa is as bad as kings. And we're patriots even though we're fighting on behalf of the government. And this and that. It's just weird. And yet they say it all because they never think about anything. And that this is what happens when you have the people that never think about anything showing up and congregating. It's a LARP fest. If you want to ask these guys how communism works or what is communism, would they be able to answer that? I don't think so. I really don't. They would just say something like Venezuela and bread lines and then socialist Maduro and then Stalin. Like, because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And that's really, and that's all I have to say here. Again, the Proud Boys, they're just so cringe. So cringe, believe me. Anyway, hello chatters. Hopefully that was good. How is the format going on at the moment? Oh shit, we got some cringers up in here. Oh shit. You don't control out lives. We can think whatever we want. I ain't scared of liberals. You shouldn't be scared of us? What? What? Okay. Mama Max is a Y tier you may like. Okay. He tried to put out a literal fire started by Antifa protesters and got attacked by a mob. Are we talking about Kyle Rittenhouse? Dude, holy shit. Sign, you're good at generalizing everyone into right wing or left wing? Okay. Thank you. I don't really even know what that means. Yeesh. The 30-minute long monologue isn't really doing it for me. Prefer the smaller videos. Oh shit. I'm getting harassed! I'm getting harassed on the live stream. Holy fuck! By Mr. Freak Glitcher, no less. Well, I mean, it's not 30-minute monologues versus smaller videos. Like, I haven't made videos in a couple days, so I got a lot of brain power going on. They're not mutually exclusive. Hello, Yusuf. I remember when you bullied Roy from Tech Insider. Is that the dude? And this is so off topic, but is that the dude that was grading those Yu-Gi-Oh cards? And then, like, didn't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh? And then, like, I made a video making fun of him. He actually, I remember that now. He actually left comments on that video. He actually, like, went to my video and asked me to apologize. And I said, like, it was all in good fun. You should know what you're doing before doing a video with millions of viewers. And, like, he threatened to, like, sue me for libel or something. It was so fucking good. Holy shit. Cloud, do you want to believe in a philosophy that says government shouldn't help people have food? Or government shouldn't help people have basic health care? I don't think that question is for me. This live stream confused me. This live stream confused me. Holy fuck. Like, interacting with the boomers in real time? Wow, this is certainly something. It was funny. It was funny. Hey, Fun Police. It was really funny. Like, again, if you're going to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, right? And again, I've got other topics here, and I'm going to go into them. But I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. So for someone to have millions and millions of viewers and to say incorrect information about Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, I'm sorry, I got triggered. I don't know what you want from me. You are younger than me. You are not young. If you are younger than me, then that is, Christ Almighty, that is horrifying. A big weed guy. God bless. I love weed. Weed is good. All right, so I want to get into the Trump taxes. I think that's going to be where we go with this. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't read anything at all other than the headlines, but you know, I'm going to do the thing. I'm just going to, you know, say, you know what? The New York Times, they might be lying, but you know what? I'll take them at their word here. So, you have Donald Trump. Apparently part of his tax returns are released, and the New York Times is here to tell us. These are 18 revelations from a trove of Trump tax records. And I'm just going to read out these bulletins or whatever. I'm not going to read the whole thing because, like, I don't get paid enough for that. But I'm going to read out some of these things. And one of the funny things was, I wish I had it here, but Trump's tweet in response to this, I'm just going to go get this. Trump just tweeted out, like, fake news. Like, last night I saw this before I went to bed. Trump just tweeted, like, fake news, right? Like, fake news. It's just, and that was him weighing in on the tax scam was the fake news. Unbelievable. But anyway, so I'm just gonna read off some of these bulletins, and I know this is just a fun story. This is one of those stories where if you hate Trump, it's just fun. If you love Trump, then this is like really hard to listen to, and you think it's fake news or whatever, right? And it's just like, but you really have to understand here that for normal people, for regular everyday people, they don't like politicians. We don't like these greasy, corrupt gangsters. So, like, we already knew that Trump's tax returns were going to be a bombshell. That's why he didn't want to, have them released for so long. And the idea that they got released in September of 2020 and not, 5 fucking years ago or whatever, that's a little ridiculous, personally. Right? But whatever, that's fine. Mr. Trump, and I love calling him Mr. Trump, by the way. I think that's been one of my favorite, passive aggressive, liberal owns, is to say, oh, Mr. Trump does this, Mr. Trump, instead of saying President Trump. Because I know the only reason I notice this now is because I've seen so many right-wingers on Twitter and on 4chan and stuff, and in my YouTube comments, get mad when people don't give him the proper respect and call him Mr. President or something. So I love Mr. Trump. It's just, it's really fucking good. So Mr. Trump paid no federal income taxes in 11 of 18 years that the Times examined. In 2017, after he became president, his tax bill was only $750. I have paid more money in taxes than Donald Trump has. Now again, that's not surprising. This wasn't something it's like, wow, holy frickin' moly. Holy mackerel. Trump was committing tax fraud? What? No way. Didn't see that one coming. No shit. Duh. Of course he was committing tax fraud. What else? What is the other... What, you think he was doing something else? I don't think so. Of course he was committing tax fraud. But again, just having the numbers, right? It's just fun. It's just fun. That's all it is. It's just fun as hell. He has reduced his tax bill with questionable measures, including a $72.9 million tax refund that is the subject of an audit by the IRS. Many of his signature businesses, including his golf courses, report losing large amounts of money. Losses that have helped him to lower his taxes. Again, this goes back to that one time in the debate with Hillary. And by the way, tomorrow is the debate with Joe Biden. I'm so excited for that. But the debate with Hillary, where Hillary was talking about how he was cheating taxes and that's why he didn't want to release them. And then Trump was like, it's because I'm smart. It's because I'm smart. Yes, that's smart. And then you have a bunch of fucking dullards that go oh, he's cheating the system. It's so badass. And oh my fucking run America like a business is that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. I'm going to be honest. Now again, am I necessarily against tax fraud? No, I'm not. But I am against tax fraud when it comes to billionaires stealing from the United States and its people. That's when I'm against tax fraud. If you're someone who's a little poor, right, and you're self-employed, and you fudge your numbers a little bit so that you can feed your kid a little bit so you have to pay less on quarterly tax statements, that's fine. Fuck the government. They don't need your money. But when you're Donald fucking Trump and you're going all out there making all these businesses and like fucking going international trading and all that stuff and you're running to be the president of the United States, then yeah, sure, I think that actually matters. In the same way that Jeff Bezos and Amazon, who pays $0 in taxes, I find that to be more problematic than someone who makes like $25K a year and is like paying like X amount of taxes, or maybe like tries to get underneath that threshold of not paying any tax. Fuck, who cares? Who gives a shit? Who cares? It only matters when the rich is doing it, because the rich fucking suck. They suck. But again, this is the thing about the Trump tax returns. This isn't moving the needle. It's like, who are the people? I would love to interview the people that are like, oh, well, I was on the fence debating whether or not I will support Donald Trump in the year 2020 in October. I was going to be debating. I'm a swing voter. I'm undecided. And then the New York Times released the tax returns. And I guess I have to vote for Biden. Like, that voter doesn't exist. I'm sorry. If they do, please forward them to me, and I would like to ask them a series of questions. But that voter does not exist, okay? That is a figment of y'all's imagination, in my opinion. And so, for me, this is just fun garbage. As president, he has received more money from foreign sources and U.S. interest groups than previously known. The records do not reveal any previously unreported connections to Russia. I love that. They have to sneak the Russia in. And again, you can read more of this later if you really want to. But again, I just think it's funny. I think it's funny. I think it's really funny. And again, you have these fucking right-wingers that are like, oh, that makes them smart. Because their fundamental like reason for voting for Republicans is maybe they think abortion is like the biggest issue of our lifetime. And then also, it's maybe if I play my cards someday right, if I vote Republicans for 70 years, maybe one day I'll have $1 billion. No, bitch. You ain't having shit. You're going to die of heart disease at the age of 69 because you're an idiot who kept voting for fucking Republicans thinking maybe one day you will be a billionaire, right? Or maybe if I keep voting Republican, maybe my great-great-great-grandkid will have $1 million by the time inflation has made $1 million worthless. Maybe it'll happen to them. Or you can be a socialist or a communist and say, you know what? Instead of having a few billionaires, let's all be millionaires. I don't know, that sounds good to me. We're living in the most fucking scarce-free, richest country in the history of humanity. I think we should all be living like kings, personally, but hey, that's just me. I don't know, maybe I'm a little crazy. Maybe homeless people shouldn't be starving. Maybe children shouldn't be starving. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm cuckoo. I don't know. But either way, Trump didn't pay his taxes because he's smart. He's so smart.
So stupid. Thank you.
How's everyone doing today? Is everyone enjoying the live stream? Is the live stream being enjoyed? Hey, Daniel S. Hello, Fun Police. Who came out as undecided. Yeah, I know, again, like, there's the voters, like, you know what? I was going to vote for Trump, but then I saw that he only paid $750 in taxes, and it's like, I just can't endorse that. It's like, wow. Wow, okay, alright. I guess we got him. thank you for giving me some of the more details, Cloud. But I mean, ultimately, again, I'm just so lazy. I'm not going to read the article. I'm really not. I'm sorry. I'm so like, if I'm going to read an article, right? Like, if that's something I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to dedicate my time to reading. It's not going to be the New York Times. I'm sorry. But yeah, how are y'all enjoying the format here? What I'm doing is I'm writing down all the little individual segments, and then I'm going to upload them separately after the stream is over. And I'm probably going to have like more of a streamlined way of doing that. Maybe like have that more uploaded live. Oh my god. Trump will go down in history as the president that handed China global supremacy. Absolutely, that's correct. Yo, I really need to play. I really want to play Fallout 3. There's so much anti-Chinecom propaganda in that game that I really want to experience again. Mr. Freak Glitcher, and to anyone else out there, if you have a New York Times article, and if you put a dot after the com, so nytimes.com / whatever the URL is, that skips the paywall. .com . So just throwing that out there. And you can just share that link, and you can post that link, and that the paywall never loads. .com . Play Mafia 1, Mafia 2 at some point. Do you think the news will serve to suppress votes for Trump? I hope so. We'll see. I don't know. I don't think there's anything that can suppress votes for Trump. I also don't really think the votes... I don't think the votes are the most important thing here. I don't think... I dot think... the president matter be ut. After watching all these Antifa BLM protests, I hope Trump wins just to see these racist art student meltdown. What? What? Anyway, yeah, that kind of just broke my brain, I'm going to be honest with you. So I got another story here. A story. Look at me. Look at me. I'm a professional. Let me get my papers. You know, got myself a story. And, let's see. Got myself a, look at me. Anyway, I thought this one was pretty good. Well, not pretty good, actually. It's pretty bad. But, you know, it's something. So here we have a Trump supporter at a protest in North Carolina, which is the state that I live in. We have a Trump supporter yelling "Heil Hitler" out the window. Now I already know the boomers. They're typing away. They're in the live stream chat right now. They're in the YouTube comments while the video's playing. They maybe paused it, right? And they're saying, "Oh, can't you take a joke?" Whenever a Trump supporter just tries to heil the Fuhrer, you guys get so upset. You get so triggered. How come Trumpers can't just have a sense of humor? You lefty soy boy SJWs. Why can't we salute the Fuhrer in peace? It's just a joke. I already know. Alright, it's just a joke. It's haha, so hilarious. But let's watch the video. But again, this is one of those things, and I covered this like last week or whatever, is there was a poll done that showed that people under the age of 40 in the United States About 60 to 70% of them don't know basic details about the Holocaust, right? And this person, whoever this is, they looked like they're, they look like they're, advanced in years, maybe, right? But like, you have to understand, these are the people that are teaching our kids. Like, these are the generation of people that like got to decide, all right, what are we going to tell the next generation about things like the Holocaust? And they collectively decided, you know what? Let's tell them absolutely nothing. That's a great idea. What could possibly go wrong? And then now we have like a whole generation. I remember when the Richard Spencers and stuff started doing, they're like, oh yeah, we're just going to go into like a giant fucking auditorium and salute fucking the Fuhrer. And it's like, oh wow, that's a little creepy, bro. What are you doing? And then you had Charlottesville with the Tiki Torch dudes, and it's like, that's a little weird. Why are you doing that? And then someone like starts killing protesters, and like, that's really creepy. But like, all the right wingers are still going to say, oh, it's just a joke. They're just joking. Yeah, the President of the United States tweeting out a video of one of his supporters saying white power. It was just a joke. Right? It's why it keeps happening all over the place. And it's why right-wing terrorists keep driving into crowds of protesters. That's why like car attacks are so fucking like widespread, because they're for fucking betas. Wow, you're in a big car and you're going to drive through a crowd. Got 'em. And you can run away or drive away. Wow, you got him. Your masculinity is taken over. You are raw testosterone. Dude, it's embarrassing. These people that keep saying, just a joke, just a joke. Even if it is just a joke, it's a bad joke, okay? And I have made my share of bad jokes, all right? I have been there. I have done that. So let me just tell you what a bad joke is. And this is a bad joke. Now, especially when you have all these bad jokes leading up to so many instances of terror attacks, cars driving into crowds, people just shooting at protesters. This is a big deal. And so you have to really think about this. Do I want to enable fascism in America? Even if I am just joking? I don't know. Should you? I personally, I disagree. But I know they're just going to write it off as just a joke. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. That's all it is. It's just a joke. And, I don't know. It's a little ridiculous. It's all over the place. I don't know. I'm really trying to, like, read the chat room, right? But we have a lot of really weird posters in here. Like, there's so many bizarre posters. Aren't those cars usually being attacked that drive over people? That's a weird post. I don't know what that is. I really don't. That's a weird post. Teachers in Canada have well informed us about WW2 and residential school. I mean, that if you are supporting Donald Trump, that's clearly not the case. Like, they haven't done a good enough job. I'm Jewish, and I think that article about people being ignorant of the Holocaust was describing the data in an overblown way. Overblown, sure. But personally, I think having a society that even has 1% of people, that's millions of people, that even has 1% of people who don't know basic details about the Holocaust, I think that's a problem. So, whether what the numbers are, that's the whole thing. Jesus. A woman protester just ran over some Trump supporter. She was an organizer. The cops arrested her for the prank. Do you have a link? Kind of like the protesters who shot those 2 cops 3 days ago. Do you have a link? I've been a little bit off the internet for the past few days. And those protesters that beat a dude half to death because he was wearing red. I would love to see links. Hello, Blarg. Chuds get triggered. Exactly. Hello, Chicken See All. It starts as a joke, but then they start associating with their ideology positively in their fucked up minds, and then it becomes unironic. No, legit, like, this is a huge topic, and I'll get into it at another time, but the whole, like Gamergate through line to fucking Laura Loomer winning a fucking congressional primary, you know, like, That through line is definitely something that should be analyzed. I think that not enough people are analyzing. Definitely, Fun Police, definitely. You have, okay, you have quotation disagree question mark. I accept all debate challenges. And then someone says, weren't those cars under attack? And you pass it off as that's a weird post. Yeah, if you want to debate, feel free. But, like, me not being able to understand your poor grammar, that has nothing to do with it. Like, if you want to debate, let's set aside a time. Let's get on Discord. Let's get on StreamYard. You know, let's debate. But you posting a weird chat message, that's not... we're not debating. That's just you being weird. You see, when someone is standing in the middle of the street, your car is automatically under attack. Because roads are for cars. But yeah, again, how are y'all liking the format here? Is this good? Like... Hold up. It's my brother's last day of working at a pizza shop, and he is allowed to make any kind of pizza that he wants. And so I requested a vegetarian deluxe. And he messaged me asking what toppings I wanted on 30 minutes ago. And I hope that I made it past the cutoff. Did I see your link? I did not see your link. I don't know if links are postable in the YouTube chat, to be honest. You might have to, like, DM me or email me. What topic? I just said any and all. I want him to, one, run this corporation dry, because he's getting a free pizza on his last day of work. So I want him to run the corporation dry. And then two, get me a pizza I could not otherwise buy normally off of a menu. You know what I mean? But yeah, this format, I think this format's pretty good. I've got one more clip lined up. He's transferring, Brooke. I don't want to give his personal information out. I'm not here to give an expose. I'm going to write a biography on a family member. I'm just, 12 pizzas for my topping. That's a good topping. Yeah, I can't see the links, Yusuf. You might just have to email me or pop it in the Discord. But anyway, I've got one more little story here, and then this is about done. But yeah, so real quick before I get to this next little thing, the format here is that I'm doing this live, and it's like I'm trying to do this like a complete podcast kind of a thing. And I'm thinking about, like, once maybe I get a few of these out, I might, like, try to get them on iTunes or, like, any of those other things. Like, I'm trying to sell out, essentially. That's the goal here. So me doing singular videos, like, that's cool, right? And that's what this podcast is. Like, I'll take individual clips and then upload them as videos, and it'll kind of basically be like nothing's different. And then also I can take the full stream and potentially get it on things like iTunes or other podcast outlets. and maybe start making some money off of this. And then I also now have a vehicle for guests. So I'm going to be able to get people on. And I've got a couple people lined up for that. So, yeah, I'm trying to sell out. That's what I'm doing here. I'm really trying to sell out. But I will also, after this stream is done, also, I don't know about the time. I will probably aim to do this as early as possible. I really don't, like, I really would love to do this at like 9 a.m. or something. Like, if I could do these shows at 9 a.m., but it really is, if I'm doing it live, it's a matter of people watching, and I want to, like, I want the live, but I want to do this early when I've got coffee in my system, you know? But yeah, so this is like a whole new thing, and I am reading the chat room and stuff. I'm just, you know, I'm not responding to things unless they're worth responding to, and I'm not trying to say that to be rude. It's just for, you know, yeah. Biden Harris have announced they're going to decriminalize weed and decriminalize drug use. I freaking love this. Will keep people who are sick out of jail and into rehab and limit police misconduct. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fund police. That is huge. If anyone ever tries to fuck you over for saying I'm voting for Biden, legal weed or decriminalized weed, bitch. If you didn't watch yesterday's Sunday Run Day, I recommend watching it. I took like a couple months off of marijuana. Maybe like doing once every 2 weeks or so in that period. And then like the last 8 days, I've just been really fucking blasted. And it's been fun. But I'm gonna stop being blasted every single day. So AOC should start campaigning for president day after Biden is sworn in. I think AOC campaigning for president, I think that's blowing our load too early. No offense to AOC at all. But that's definitely blowing our load too early. I think she's a much better Speaker of the House kind of person than president. You know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing the mark here, but I don't know. But yeah, so let's get into this fun one. This is fun. Y'all are gonna like this. Y'all are going to like this, okay? Y'all will like this one. Let me guarantee that. Okay. Alright, so y'all are gonna like this one. This is great. This on the lists of things that you love to see. This is particularly high on that list.
This guy doesn't have a clue. He doesn't know where the hell he is. And they'll give him a shot or something. I don't know. He's going to get something. He'll be, you know, because I watched him so badly. He performed so badly in the debates. And then with Bernie, he was average. Not great, but he got through. And I said, what the hell is he taking? And we'd like to ask him. And I said that. We want a drug test. We want a drug test. We'll both take it. We'll both take it.
Now, I just want to say, I agree with Donald Trump here. All right? Get your clips. Get your quotes. I agree with the President of the United States. It really was weird how Biden went from turning the record player or leaving the record player on at night to being able to be very coherent with that one-on-one with Bernie. It was almost like that was like the biggest battle of his lifetime. And he had to prepare in such a way, like he woke up, like, you know, he switched his sleep schedule around and then woke up and had a cup of coffee and went out there and debate, right? Like, that's what that was like. So that was totally, I get it, right? But Trump's been doing this thing where he's like, Biden, Sleepy Joe, he's on drugs. Sleepy Joe Biden, he's on drugs. He's got a shot in the ass. Sleepy Joe, right? And so he asked Biden to take a drug test. And this is apparently, I am told that this is, according to reports, Biden's campaign response. So again, I just love it. I love it. Okay. Vice President Biden intends to deliver his debate answers in words If the president thinks his best case is made in urine, he can have at it. We'd expect nothing less than Donald Trump, who pissed away the chance to protect the lives of 200,000 Americans when he didn't make a plan to stop COVID-19. Now, I am told that this is real. Now it could be wrong. It could be wrong. But either way, Joe Biden just announced he will not agree to the drug test. Gee, I wonder why. Like, holy shit. Holy fuck. Like, is that real? Like, that's really, like, that's the Joe Biden campaign response. I need to fact check this. Like, that can't be real, because it's too funny. Like, it is real, right? Like, it's just too funny to be real. That is real. I just looked it up. It's real, everybody. This is real. Again, this is, okay, again, I am not someone who thinks that the problems in the United States of America can be solved with any presidential election or any Senate election or any congressional election, right? I don't think that. But, like, as far as this election is concerned, it's purely a comedy show, as far as I'm concerned. This is just purely funny. This is funny shit. This is really, 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 really funny. Vice President Biden intends to deliver his debate answers in words. If the president thinks his best case is made in urine, he can have at it. That's fucking funny. So all the people out there, I know there's like a lot of Jimmy Dore, Dumbo, dumb lefties, right? That are like, Trump is funny and Biden is cringe, right? Like, I've seen a lot of those people, and everything Biden does, they just get mad. They get, oh, grr, Biden's trying too hard, neoliberal cringe. And it's like, dude, if you don't understand the difference between Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden, then you don't have a sense of humor. Like, I'm sorry. Hillary Clinton was pure, distilled, Pokemon, go to the polls. Like, that was cringe as hell. That was dumb. Nobody liked that. It wasn't funny. It was just like, ugh, right? Biden, on the other hand, saying that he's been in the Senate for 180 years, right? Saying that 200 million people have died of coronavirus, saying that he's running for the United States Senate in South Carolina, right? Oh, all men are created equal. You know the thing. That's hilarious. I'm sorry, but it's funny. And now that the Biden campaign, and this is like the first funny thing I've seen from the actual Biden campaign, now that they're actually embracing hilarity and comedy, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And you can call me a cuck. You can say I'm bending my knees. There's only one activity I would bend my knees for, and it certainly is not voting for Joe Biden. I can assure you, right? This is just funny. And that's all this election is. It's just funny. And people really need to get into that zone. Like, I get it, right? I get it. Trump is bad. I get it. Biden is bad, right? And I totally want Trump to lose. I want Biden to be inaugurated from a bunker. That is what I say every single time, is Biden must be inaugurated from a bunker. That I think encapsulates what I think about this election and how the next 6 months should go. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and sell you a bunch of shit. Both of these candidates are garbage. But they're funny. Like, we have the internet, right? We have, like, the world is growing really fast, and yet you have these boomers who think they're stuck in 1982 debating, right? And, like, it's on Twitter, and, like, it's in the fucking info meme wars. And yet these boomer bitches don't even really understand the internet, and I just think it's funny. Like, the world as we know it may be gone in 6 months from now. Like, the pandemic, alien invasion, coup, military dictatorship. Who knows what's going to fucking happen? Right? I say we spend, tomorrow is the first debate. We spend this time and we have fun with it. That's what I say. And if you disagree, maybe you disagree. I don't know. But I think it's funny. Zorak in the chat. How does Joe act like he would have stopped 200K from dying, though? Because he would have, I would say. If you look at the Woodward tape, it shows that Trump was very cognizant of how dangerous the virus was, but chose to do nothing. I don't think Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, or Barack Obama, or any neoliberal for that matter, I don't think that they would have done nothing. I just don't think that that's the case. So as far as beating the 200K death count, I think that would be an easy task. Because Biden, or rather Trump, knew how bad it was in April. The Woodward tape shows that. Like, he is literally, you can hear him say, oh yeah, this virus, it goes through the air, they say, it's awful, it's really bad. Yet, the next day, on a presser, he was telling people to drink bleach. Like, the guy is clearly lying at all times, and he's funny. Trump is funny as fuck. But I don't think Biden would lie about this kind of thing. I just don't. If it was like 200K deaths in like a foreign country, or like something like that, then yeah, maybe. I think Biden would be just as bad as Trump. But domestically, they care too much about the domestic image. I'm sorry? Daniel S. says, we're holding our nose over Joe. We've been captured constituents forever. I disagree with that. I am not a captured constituent. This is my second election. My first election, I voted for Jill Stein in 2016. Right? I voted for Bernie in the primary, Jill Stein in the general. My second election, I voted for Bernie in the primary, and I'll vote for Biden in the general. I am not a captured constituent by any means. I am not adhering to the Democratic Party, and I'm not trying to say that you're saying on this, so bear with me. I am an independent voter who knows that Joe Biden is better than Donald Trump. I'm sorry. That's just, I'm sorry if that offends you. I really am. I apologize. Yes, that's what I have to say about that. No, I'm not saying Trump did a good job. I'm saying, how would he have saved them? Zorak clarifies. How? A national mask mandate? Like, really, like, I don't know. I mean, if you don't see immediately how Biden would have been better for Corona than Trump, I mean, I don't know what I could say to you. But a national mask mandate, first of all, not turning masks into a political, like, thing. Like, you see fascists in Spain, in Germany, they're wearing masks. They might be protesting lockdowns as well, but they're at least, like, a lot of them are wearing masks, right? So, like, germs aren't, like, a hot topic. Whereas in the United States of America, Donald Trump managed to make germs a debatable political topic. Like there are going to be people that are going to Thanksgiving and half their family doesn't believe in germs. Like, think about that. Right? And that's going to be fresh in the forefront of everyone's minds. Like, last year it was like, oh, Thanksgiving, my uncle's a Trump supporter. That's going to be cringe. Right? Now it's Thanksgiving. Oh, my uncle doesn't believe in germs and hasn't washed his hands since the Nixon administration. Like, dude, that's fucked up. Like, I don't know what to say. That's fucked up. But, yep. That's all I have to say about Biden and Trump. And, yes, that is it. That is all. That is everything. That is everything. Okay, so, that's all I really had prepared to talk about. This is kind of a demo show. And this has gone for an hour or so. That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah, an hour is definitely not bad. But yeah, so I'd like to say again, thank you for watching, everyone. I appreciate that. I'm doing a big restructure to my YouTube channel over the next week. Have I heard about the new Jizz Lane info? No, I haven't. It's incontrovertible. I'm so sorry. You're right, 21% of all the deaths in the pandemic happened in the United States thus far. Yes, absolutely. 10.8 deaths per 100K population. You live in Germany, correct? The USA has 60, yes, per 100K. It's not even weak leadership, it's also just a weak country. Like, again, I covered this poll. This is like in April. I want to say this is in April that I covered this. There was a poll done that showed that like 50% of Republicans in swing states, 50% of Republicans in swing states have not washed their hands to fight coronavirus. And I know just from, like, I know from being polled, from listening to people being polled, I know what these questions are asking. I know how they're asking these things. And if a poller is going to ask you, have you been doing things like washing your hands to fight coronavirus? And if you're going to say no, that's because you don't wash your hands. It's not because you don't believe in COVID. It's because you don't wash your hands. So there was like at least 50% of Republican voters in swing states as of April don't wash their hands. And I don't know. I just don't feel like that number has gotten any better. I really don't. Fucking Jizz Lane? God damn it. But yeah, anyway, I hope that this stream was fun. I don't really have, like, an idea as to how, like, again, if I can get this out at, like, 9 o'clock in the morning, that would, I think, be the ideal time for me to do this broadcast. Because, like, I'm the most mentally alert. Fucking, I just got a text from Bernie Sanders. I'm still on the Bernie Sanders text list, right? And every time I get a text message, and it's from Bernie, right? Like, I just scroll through all the texts that Bernie gave to me. And it's like, I'm in August now, and Bernie's talking about Biden. It's like, all right, I'm in April, and Bernie's fundraising. I'm scrolling up. Like, oh, I'm in March. Bernie might still have won. Oh, Bernie 2020 alert. We're approaching a deadline to pay for ads in the final week of March 17th. I will take Bernie's text messages to the day I die, I swear to God. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and edit some of the clips here and upload those. And I'm going to stream again. Like I said, I'm doing a new format for my channel, and it's going to involve streaming a lot more stuff. And so I will be back live in a little bit with some video game stuff. And again, I mean, you know me, like, you can talk to me about anything at any time. So if I'm playing Doom and you want to talk about Corona, then that's fine with me. But thank you for listening to the first live episode of Above It All. This format will change up a little bit. Oh, I'd also like to announce, G-Wolf in the chat, hello? There will be a new episode of God Damn It on Wednesday. So, or maybe Thursday. We're going to record it tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Wednesday. We're going to record it after the debate. I'm going to see if I can, what I can do. But that will be happening. God damn it will return. And so the idea for God damn it, just to give you more info, is we're going to do one last non-live episode to wrap up kind of the non-live episodes, and then we'll switch those to a live format. Because the way we did that is that we would read comments from the previous episode and stuff, and we still have to read those comments, and we don't want to break that chain. And so we're going to do one last pre-tape episode, and then after that, once the pre-taped episode is done, whenever the next show will be, it will be live. When is the debate? 8 Eastern? I guess it's 8 Eastern. I will probably be doing a live stream during the debate. I will probably not be hosting the debate. But I think I'll be live when it happens. So it might not be a great stream. Like, you might want to have me on with another stream right? But I'll at least be watching it. So that's definitely going to happen. So anyway, thank you for watching Above It All, episode 980. I was originally going to start the podcast version at 1001, but then I took a few days off, because I wanted to smoke weed and play Minecraft. So I took a few days off, and I guess technically episode 980 is the first of the long form Above It All. I don't know, I like numbers. So even though you have 979 5-minute videos and this one's an hour, that's fine. I like numbers. I'll consistently use numbers. I've been trying to turn this stream off for like the last 5 minutes and people are still talking. Like, can you move? Like, or can you like get the hell out? Like, I'm trying to turn the broadcast off. Like, I want to like start editing the clips and upload those so I can get the MAGA Boom reviews. And yet you people are still here. Like, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to try to figure out a way to do live clip editing. But that's another project. Yeah, the stream is over. It's gone. Get the hell out of here. I'm seeing the concurrent viewership graph go up. Why is it going up? The stream is off. Like I said, I already said I'll be back in like an hour. I'm going to do another live stream. Like, do y'all really have nothing to do? Holy shit. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out.